Welcome back once again. It's the weekend. Hope everyone has a good weekend. Major plans. I'm about to get out of here and go do some family time, have family dinner with my folks. But before I go, I did want to touch on this credit thing again. I keep getting messages, comments about credit, more questions. So I didn't know it was going to be this big of a hit, but it seems like everybody, well, at least some people have some interest in it. So I thought I'd touch base on one other thing, using credit cards to improve your credit score. Someone asked me how do they improve their score. One easy way is with credit cards. If you don't have a credit card, I would advise you to get one. It's real simple. If your credit isn't the best, you may have to go with a secured card. If your average credit score, never had a credit card before, you probably have to start out with something like Capital One, Quicksilver, or maybe even a Platinum. There are a number of factors that affect your credit score. The three most important are payment history, credit history, and credit usage. Of course, payment history, are you paying on time? Very important that you pay on time. Even if you can't clear your balance, at least pay the minimum amount due on time. Credit history, how long, of course, have you had credit? And credit usage, how much of your credit you are using. And that's what we're going to talk about here for just a couple of minutes. Credit cards. Once you get your credit card, each month, the company gives you a due date. On that due date, you have a payment that is due. In the next couple of days, the card company will report to the major bureaus, the credit bureaus, what your balance is. Here's what you do. So let's say you have a total balance of $1,000. You know what? Let's break it down, make it a little simpler. $100. Everyone says, well, a lot of people say that you need to keep that balance under 30%. So if you have a $100 balance, 30%, $30. I like to keep mine under 20% personally, but to each his own. I've heard some people say anywhere from 20% to 30%. Neither here nor there. You pick what's best for you. When that payment is due, you want to make sure that that balance is at 30% or less, okay? So let's say your payment is due on the 5th of each month. Let's say you spent $60 on the 31st, okay? By the 5th, you need to turn that $60 credit into $30 or less. That'll get you at 30% or less. Why is that important? Because in 2 to 3 days after your bill is due, the card companies are going to report to the bureaus. That's how part of the equation that the bureaus use to calculate your score, okay? So it's very simple to manipulate. If you got customer A and customer B. Let's say you both have a $100 balance for credit. Client A has almost maxed their balance out. They're at $90. They only have $100 worth of credit. Customer B has a balance of $20 with a $100 credit. Now, as a bank, the banks are going to feel more comfortable loaning more money to the person who has only used 20% of their credit, which is the $20 out of $100. The person with $90, they're going to see that as a risk, high risk, because they've already spent 90% of their credit. So each month, when that balance, when your due date comes in, like I said, maybe it's on the 5th. Actually, you can even get with the card companies. If you're not comfortable with paying on the 5th, they will even accommodate you and allow you to change. Most companies will allow you to change your due date. But by that due date, you need to make sure that you have that balance down under 30%, 30% or less. Like I said before, I'd like to do 20% myself. So that is very important if you want to manipulate, kind of play the game, and increase your credit score on a smaller level. But it's very effective and it works. Me personally, I almost never, next to never even use my debit card. I swipe that credit card every chance I get. But on the other hand, I have rewards cards. Now, most of us won't be able to start out with a rewards card because most of us don't have good credit, have next to no credit if you're just beginning. So you won't be able to get rewards cards. But you got to start somewhere. We must crawl before we walk, walk before we run. So make sure that you go ahead and get you a credit card and run this video back so you can make sure you understand how to use it. If anybody has any questions or comments, I appreciate all of them that are coming in. Please send more. If you got anything you'd like for me to touch on, any topic, any question, this is where all of this is coming from. This is what we're here to do. We'll learn together and grow together. Until next time, you know it. Stay focused, stay humble, stay hungry, stay ahead.